Hey, what's going on, scholars? It's your professor here, Enlightened Enlisted, and today we're going to be taking a look at the news release from Darkflow, Burning Skies Part 2. So today's news release is talking about the updates of campaign levels for the campaign of Berlin, Tunisia, and of course Stalingrad. So starting off with Berlin, we are seeing sniper level 3s being added, with the Russians getting the scoped AVS-36, and the Germans are getting the scoped STG-44. That's right, guys, the STG-44 has finally made its appearance. So basically we have a 15-round magazine rifle versus a 30-round magazine rifle. Doesn't seem quite fair to me, but the AVS is a very good rifle, so we'll see how the player base uses it. Now, level 35 in Berlin is seeing the heaviest tanks in the game being added, with the IS-2 for the Russians and the Tiger 2P for the Germans. Now, these are huge tanks. I don't know how well they're going to do because Berlin is kind of close quarters, so we'll see, but these are very powerful tanks, and I can see on the levels like Silo Heights this being a problem. Personally, I'm more excited for the Tiger 2 over the IS-2, but I don't know. It's individual preference to me. There's also going to be 2 premium squads added to this campaign. The Russians are going to have an assaulter squad that's going to have the AS-44, which is a very, very interesting rifle and kind of inspired by the MKB. Also, fun fact, it is the predecessor to the AK-47. Now, the Germans are also going to be getting an assaulter squad, and they are going to be rolling in deep with the STG-45, not the 44. This is actually the later version of the STG lineup. Pretty cool additions if you ask me. The squads don't look that great as far as aesthetically going, but I do see that their weapons are going to be very useful, especially in Berlin, because it is that close quarters combat that you know and love. Now, the premium squads are taking that standard loadout that we have seen going forward, with 4 assaulters and 1 engineer. Alright, now let's get into the Stalingrad campaign. We see Rifleman 3s being added, and these guys are going to be focused on the anti-tank grenade launcher, which we've seen before in other campaigns. Basically, the Germans are getting the KR-98, and the Russians are getting the Mosin Nagant. To me personally, this is just a filler. No one ever uses these, especially when you have explosive packs and those TNT charges that you can just place on tanks. I don't see you using this at all. Now, coming in at level 28, we have 2 vehicles being added for each side, and that's going to be the T-34 1941 version for the Soviets, and then we're going to have the Stug 3F for the Germans. Personally, I'm going to say the Russians come out on top of this because having a turret is just so important in an enlisted to be able to swivel out and shoot. Plus, it doesn't look like the Stug has a mounted MG42 on the top, so not being able to kill infantry is going to make this a problem. Although the way that the Stalingrad maps are designed, it is probably the best campaign for a tank destroyer in my opinion. Now, the premium squads that are being added to this campaign I think look sick as hell, especially the Soviet Marines. They just look really awesome, and they have the PPSH-41. Now, the Germans also are going to get a great weapon with the Suomi, and it's got the drum mag on it, so I think these guys are going to be actually super good. Tunisia is also seeing some love. At level 33, we are having assaulter 3s being added, and you have the Thompson Chicago style typewriter with that drum mag, 50 rounds into it, versus the German, who only gets the Beretta M38. Not really fair in my opinion. Aviation wise, it does kind of balance itself out. We've got the Spitfire being added and a BF-109 F4 in the tropical camouflage pattern. These are both just fighters. They have no bomb load, so I don't see them being very useful, as you always want to be able to do CAS, but if you are a fighter main, here you guys go. Instead of a premium squad in Tunisia, they actually added premium vehicles. The British are getting the Mosquito, and the Italians are getting the Berdan 88. The Mosquito looks significantly better, but I don't know if I would actually buy this. I'll have to do a full review on it later, but I can't see me doing it any better than the Bow Fighter. There's some pretty interesting additions coming to the game. What do you guys think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, scholars, hit those books and hit those bottles. Cheers. Fucking love. Someone clip that. Someone please clip that right there.